Okay, so this is all going to be unscripted. This is... Making videos are harder than I thought, so no scription, no script. Let me tell you about my recent obsession. I'm a big fan of cult cinema in the obscure and the different. And let me just say, Rocky Horror Picture Show has been on my mind constantly lately. Rocky Horror Picture Show is an amazing movie, and I really recommend it to everyone, and it was my first year of watching it in 2021. Beforehand, I've never seen it. I was not ever necessarily allowed to when I was little. Because, I mean, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. At least back in 1975. I mean, we have definitely more... I wouldn't even call it a scary movie, but it's just, we definitely have more gore now, more than anything. But Rocky Horror is that movie that you wouldn't show to your grandma on a holiday weekend. Basically, the synopsis of this movie is a newly hitched couple, Brad and Janet, are driving along the road towards God knows where, and they pop a tire. With no portable phones at the time, since the era when this is filmed is 1975, they walk along the road until they reach this really strange castle. They go knocking on the door, which is answered by the strange servant, I think, of the castle, and then chaos ensues.
Hello.
What really sells this movie is definitely the acting plethora that is in this movie, such as what I will show on the screen here, but mainly the head of it all, Tim Curry. I've been a big fan of Tim Curry ever since I started getting onto the It franchise, because everybody knows Tim Curry as that evil clown that haunts children's nightmares. But in Rocky Horror, he's the lovable transvestite known as Dr. Frankenfurter. And there are many more characters that adds to this crazy onslaught on top of Brad and Janet, such as Riff Raff, Magenta, and Columbia. Now let me preface this by saying that I do have a little bit of a bias in regards to this movie, because I've been a fan of Tim Curry, and especially in his recent work, he's still working on a lot of things. Like, for instance, he was in Criminal Minds, and he is still just a prevalent figure in media. As much as I would like to focus on Tim Curry and his great achievement in this movie in Rocky Horror, and also the plethora that he has done after this, there is definitely a wide range of talent when it comes to this movie. There's just so many moments such as slapstick or funny music and stuff like that. But on top of that, there's also just the ironic, kind of edgy, deeper meaning to a lot of the music. For example, the song Sword of Damocles, when Rocky's first brought back to life by Dr. Frankenfurter as his greatest experiment yet. It's kind of a really sad song when you really look into the lyrics. Like, for instance, the story of the Sword of Damocles is talking about the overarching aspect of greed and power and pride, while the sword is dangling above Damocles' head, ready to smite him when he makes the wrong move, whether that be by friends or by family, or at least that's what my interpretation is, or at least that's what I remember. And I think it's kind of ironic, especially by the end of this movie. By the way, spoiler alert for this movie, if you haven't seen it yet. It is definitely a great movie. And it just shows the later onslaught that becomes of Dr. Frankenfurter when he lets his pride and his work get the best of him. Now, Rocky Horror Picture Show is definitely known for its shock factor, such as lewdness, craziness, and overall violence. But it definitely aged well in the coming years. Again, it is 2021 when I watched this, and it still made an impact on me. Like, I'm making a video of it right now. It encourages you to get into that other side of yourself. People that do not feel normal or a part of the group really find comfort in this movie. A common tradition when you first go to a Rocky Horror Picture Show concert, or because it is in theaters, people still perform it nowadays, or watch it the first time, you take a piece of lipstick, you take lipstick and mark a V on your head, signifying that you have never seen this movie before, and maybe the craziness can come your way. And a lot of these shows and these plays, no matter what gender you are, what affiliation you are, you can dress as crazy as you want. Because in Rocky Horror, everybody is encouraged to be different. Everybody's encouraged to be out of the norm. which Brad and Janet have a trouble dealing with. And once they unlock that side of them, they're overwhelmed by this new side of themselves. But that's what I love about this movie, just questioning this sheer sense of normal, this sense of what is supposed to be true and what needs to be right, when it's just maybe on the other side it's a little bit more fun. Again, if you like this video, please leave a like on it. If you want more from me, please hit subscribe and the notification bell so whenever I upload you can know. Tell me what you think about Rocky Horror. Leave it in the comments below, or in the link in the description there's a link to my Instagram. But other than that, I hope that you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one.